fail.
Welcome back to Bet On It, the extended version. Why? Because we've just been talking so much we can't even get to the Ask the Expert questions, but we still want to give you guys stuff. And if you have a question, please tweet at us. We'd love to have you on the show. Let's start off with at NYMess16 asks, VR, how do you know when a move is sharp money to follow and not just money getting ahead to set up the play the other way?
I love it. Great question. And I actually saw someone ask that again, and they were kind of bashing me, saying, because I was talking about something I think last week or the week before, and saying, I know for certainty some groups bet it, but I don't know if it's legit yet. I can't tell. I don't know for sure. And the dude's comment was, oh, if he's supposed to know all these, if he's a high roller and knows all these wise guys, why don't he just ask them? And I realized how little people, I don't mean it bad, but how little they know. Like, They don't realize how this works, how you get this information. That's not, you don't call me and I'm like, well, why do you like it? That's not how it works. But anyway, we'll do a segment on that so you understand how money moves from the betting syndicates to the betting window. Real quickly, you can't. Unless you're actually moving for these groups, you're going to be guessing. Personally, how I do it, the groups that I move for, I can tell by the amounts they're betting and the books they're putting them into, whether they're on screen or off screen.
Oh.
And years of doing it, you get a sense. And 9 times out of 10, I'm trusting my gut. And I've learned to be a lot more efficient and accurate doing it. But with that said, if you're not, it's very hard, Kelly, to say this is how you do it. I mean, there's no way to really tell, except maybe pay attention to key numbers, pay attention to what books are moving the line, that kind of stuff, and try to gauge. But to be able to confirm with certainty, if you're not the group moving it, like I said, I share information with other movers, and I get plays, and they don't tell me whether, they don't know if it's legit, why they're on it, or what have you. But with that said, I use my own experience to gauge and judge the information. But there's really no surefire way to say, once a group fires, to say, oh, this is a fake move, and they're just setting it up. Unless you're moving it for them and they're letting you know, we're setting this up, which happens if it's your group that's moving it. But if it's not, you can't. You ain't going to be able to guess, dude.
All right, Marco, this is a question for you. At betting_council asks, what is your favorite angle to play in college basketball? Forget the team. Example, I want a team that plays 2 or 3 road games in a row, then returns home. Do you have any favorite trends like that for college basketball?
Yeah, I have one that is one of my all-time favorites in college basketball, and we've lost some of them because the conferences have grown so big that you don't have some conferences where they play twice a year like they used to. But I love the second meetings in conference play. And one of my favorite angles in conference play is if you have a team that in the first meeting played at home and was a big favorite, double-digit favorite, and they only won by a few. The public looks when it's the rematch and says, oh, they only lost on the road by 4.
Couldn't even beat them at home.
Yeah, they only lost by 4 in a row. Now they're at home, they're a live dog. No, they're not, okay? Because what generally happens is maybe that team looked right past them. They're a double-digit favorite. Maybe they came off a bigger game the previous game or had a bigger game on deck and didn't take them serious. Well, guess what? When you had a scare at home, you're taking that team serious when you play them on the road at that short number, and you're going to get value because it's going to be over-adjusted because of the bad performance at home. I love taking the road, small road favorite after a close win at home in the second meeting.
Okay, the last one is at @_faded1. You guys have some really good Twitter handles here. I like having different types of handicappers on the Wager Talk shows. I'd like to know from VR how much of Marco's situational style goes into your picks and how much of VR's kind of info goes into your picks, Marco.
For me, I've learned a lot from Marco. Even if we approach it differently, and yet I've learned a lot. And I'm not saying it because he's sitting next to me, honestly. I've learned a lot from Marco through the years that I use in my reasoning now that I would have never before used because I just think differently. I approach it and look at it differently. And it's been beneficial because, again, anytime you could get another view of it that you totally don't have and it's someone's opinion that you respect, that's what you want to do. So I would say, honestly, before it would be so minimal to now, I would say at least 20%, if not more, of what matters to me is that handicap side, where before it was probably not even 10% matter and it was all about the number.
Yeah, for me, same thing. I do my stuff, but I like to look and get confirmation on things what makes me feel better, or sometimes
what's happening in the market, right?
Yeah, it's not going to switch me to a side ever, but it might take me off a game.
Yeah,
where,
you don't want to fade guys that win. Like I contend, I'll do it if I love a side, but you don't want to be against. We know how few people actually win. Like, you don't want to be against those guys.
I used one play tonight. I'm not going to say who it is. I used one play tonight. I asked VR in the break. I said, have your guys, I didn't tell them which side I'm on. I said,
did
you guys.
they touch this game? And I said, look, we bet the side and the total on this one. And he's like, oh, wow, I'm on the same side. Yes.
Good.
There you go. It's a nice little pat on the back.
It doesn't make it a winner. He just knows
Right.
now at least you're on that side with the market that got restarted.
And I have 5 college basketball games I'd written down, and you literally said out loud that one of them was that I just
There's
quickly
no set
scratched through it.
recipe to, and I hate to use this saying because it's the most stupidest saying in the world, but they say there's more than one way to skin a cat. Okay.
Yeah.
Who actually skins cats?
For
Okay, to
God's
start with,
sakes,
okay?
man.
All right.
You just went down a very dark place.
Okay, all right, but it's like there's no set recipe, okay? Everybody has their own stuff, but you're always adding to it,
You always have to
You
be
learn.
put a little
on-
pinch-
I've learned from you guys. I've
Always.
learned from everyone else. I tried to. I think about it. You're not the same bettor you were just 12 months ago.
No,
than
not
you
at
are
all.
Today. And you're not going to. Hopefully, you're not going to be the same bettor 12 months from now than you are today.
It's the same way with poker, okay? 10 years ago, poker was so much easier because there were so many more bad players. The game evolves. There's so many ways for people to learn and improve their game that it makes everybody better. You got to keep evolving to stay ahead of the curve. And that's with
just be
anything.
cautious who you take advice from, because especially now with the legalization of sports betting, again, there's so much information out there, and so few people actually do win long term, do make money betting sports. And I could promise you that it's not the 1% that does, that's pumping out all that content. So just be cautious what information you trust.
Especially on Twitter, okay?
Yeah.
We talk about Twitter and all the pitfalls and all the pluses to it, but right now, anybody's a handicapper.
Everyone has a win. Everyone wins. Everyone bets
Nobody's
for a
talking about it.
living.
You know what?
Yeah.
We don't win every day, but you know what? We're here. We're here live giving you the plays. We're not doctoring tickets after the fact. We're not deleting.
This is your full-time job.
Yeah.
You don't work somewhere else.
And that's why numbers don't lie. That at the end of that's why I say I may lose on the show, win on the show. I don't know. And this isn't an infomercial for me, for Marco, or for you. But I know long term. At Wager Talk, I've been 2018 turn profit, 2019 turn profit. Now, whether you came in one weekend, 1 week, you may say I'm the worst handicapper on the planet because I might have gotten killed that week. I can't help that. My goal is to win for me long term. If you're able to win with my information, great. But the goal's for me to win. Like, you're trying to win for you, right?
Absolutely.
All right, good stuff, guys. As always, if you do have a question for us, please send it to us on Twitter. We'll try to do this segment each and every week on Bet On It, or maybe we'll wait a couple weeks and do a satellite video since we talk too much during the regular show.